Okay, hold on. I'm going over the Unit 8 worksheet, number 5, and I'm on number 9, and I asked the question, do we need a common denominator when multiplying? Some said no, some said yes. The answer to that is no, you do not. You just multiply the numerators, multiply the denominators. Where you put the negative is up to you. You can put it right in the middle again. I typically move it to the front, but it's not necessary. What's 3 times 4?
12.
5 times 9?
5.
And reduce. Is there anything that goes into 12 that also goes into 45?
Wait, no.
No. 3? Okay, what's negative 12 divided by 3? Negative 4. What's 45 divided by 3? Is that rational or irrational?
Rational.
It has no square root in it at all, so it is rational. A fraction of integers. Okay, number 14. Looking at number 14 individually, is that an irrational number? Is that an irrational number? When I multiply two irrationals, does it always come out to be irrational, or is it situational? It depends on the problem, right? So let's see. 4 times 1 is 4. What's 6 times 8? 48. Is 48 a perfect squared? No. So before I go any further, do you think this is going to come out to be rational or irrational if this is not a perfect squared?
Irrational.
It will be irrational, but what do we have to do to the 48?
Break it down.
Break it down. 4 radical. Has anybody broke it down already?
15.
How many 2's are there? 4 and a 3? All right, and we circle our chunks. A 2 comes out, another 2 comes out, and 4 times 2 times 2 is 16, and then 16 root 3. And is it irrational like we said?
Yes.
Okay, are we good? Next one. 3 times 6. Remember, when you're multiplying, they don't need to be like terms. You just multiply. What's 3 times 6? 18. They both have to be square roots, and they are. What's 7 times 14? Has anybody done that already? 98. All right, is 98 a perfect squared? No. Before I go further, what do you think the final answer is going to be? Rational or irrational? Irrational, because 98 is not a perfect squared. 18, did anybody break up 98? Does it break up into 7 and 14? Yes or no?
Yes.
And 14's 2 and 7, so is it 2, 7, 7?
Yeah.
What comes out? And I do 7 or 7 times 18? 7 times 18. Good job. Can you guys tell me what that is? 126 root 2, and is that irrational like you said it would be? Okay. So let's just do this one here, even though no one asked. What's 7 times 2? And what's root 5 times root 5? Okay, I heard different answers. I heard 5 and I heard root 5. Just 5. If you say root, then it's root 25, which is still 5. So you do 14 times 5. What is that? Rational or irrational? Why did this one come out to be rational where the other ones were irrational? Okay, they canceled out because they are exactly the same. Now, is that the only time this happens? No, because look at over here. Are these the same?
Yeah.
12 and 3. But what's 12 times 3?
4. Oh.
And is 36 a perfect squared? So this one would come out to be rational as well. Because you'd have 4 times 2 is 8. Square root of 36 is 8 times 6. And that's a rational number. Does that make sense? Okay. Now, 17. Now, as tempting as it is to say radical 3 over radical 3 because we want to rationalize, is that okay? It's okay, but is that what we should be doing? No. What have I told you guys to do before rationalizing? Check the radicals to see if you can divide. Does 75 divide by 3? What is it? So is it 25 or root 25?
25.
Root 25, and what's in front? 7, because the radicals don't undo each other. They're the same, and we're not going to get all crazy there. Is that rational or irrational? It looks irrational, but why? Why is it?
25 is a perfect square.
25 is a perfect square. Good job. So it's 7 times 5, which is 35. Make sense? Yes.
Can you do number 18?
I was hoping someone would ask for that one. Yes. Okay. Now in notes, I reduce those numbers if possible. Do they reduce? No. So that's going to stay a fraction. Don't divide it and get a decimal. 3/7. Now, do I rationalize or reduce first, if possible? And does the 10 and the 5 reduce? To what? Root 2. Good job. Top or bottom? Okay. Does anything else reduce? Do I have to rationalize this? Do I do top and bottom by root 2? This is it. Why don't I rationalize? Because there's no radical in the denominator. You're right. So this is your answer, and we say it is rational or irrational. So this one came out to be rational because when I divided, I got a perfect squared. When I divided this one, was it a perfect squared? No. So it's irrational. Okay. Are we good? Can you guys flip over one page? Here. And before I go over the problems you need to know from this worksheet,